Hi, this is your boy RandoRon, and today we're going to talk about being strategically scarce to avoid the friend zone. This basically means that you're withholding your presence from someone. Let's say you're pursuing someone. You don't want to saturate them with your presence. You don't want to be talking to them too much. You don't want to be too available. You don't want to be distant and seem not caring, but you don't want to overdo it. So what I'm saying is, let's say someone invites you over, then you go. You don't try to push for an invitation. You want to make your presence appreciated, because what happens, whether intentionally or non-intentionally, if you're doing anything or you expose someone to something, regardless of how good or bad it is, they start becoming numb or unresponsive to it. Let's say someone has a lot of money. They never had to work for it, then they don't appreciate it. Well, most times, I should say. So they don't appreciate it. They just spend. However, the person who has to save to get something, they are very picky, and it's very difficult for them to let the money go because they've grown to appreciate it because they've been saving it. So in the same way, you want that someone appreciates your time, not that they can call you and they're always getting through, or at the drop of a hat, you're ready to run to them. Right? You don't want to be talking to someone on the phone or through Skype or through social media all day, every day. You want to make sure that they have to do a little work to get to you. They have to, sometimes send you 2 messages before you respond. This makes them know that your time is valuable, and then in turn they value your time. Obviously, this all starts with you valuing your time. So you don't want to talk to someone all day, every day. You want to minimize the time that you're talking to them so that they always appreciate it. Let's say something happens during the day that's phenomenal. Obviously, you want to call and share it with them, or you want to send them a message sharing it with them. That's no problem. However, you don't want, at every moment when something happens, you don't want that you're calling them and then it goes into 6 and 7 times a day you're calling them. Also, you don't want to talk to someone longer than necessary. You don't want to talk to someone until you have nothing to say, and then it gets boring and awkward, and the person is like, silence on the phone or silence in the conversation. Obviously, most of us speak through WhatsApp or Facebook, so that the silence is just a matter of fact. But when you take it to the level where you're speaking to the person in real time, like on voice chat or WhatsApp or Skype, you want to make sure that your conversation is engaging, and that when you're finished speaking to the person, that you leave them wanting more. And that's part of being scarce as well. Strategically scarce, that is. So 1, you want to not speak to someone too many times per day. 2, you want to not saturate them with your presence. So let's say you're accustomed seeing them every now and then. Keep it that way. Make sure that the person indicates to you or hints to you that they want to see you first before you instigate or try to see them. Make sure that you're not always badgering them. You're not always, at every moment that you get, you're trying to go visit them, etc., etc. You want to make them want to see you. Obviously, you're going to have to take the initiative if they're not asking, or if they're too shy to invite you over. You may want to gently hint at it, and if they take the bait or if they bite, then, you go forward. If not, and you realize that they're not necessarily or particularly interested in seeing you at that time, you reverse, backpedal. This ensures that, you're communicating, but also you're not being too aggressive or too saturating. I've said saturating a couple of times already in the podcast. However, I'm hoping that you're getting the point of what I'm saying. Don't overdo your presence. It's very important that someone misses you. You have to give them time to miss you. You can't miss someone, or someone can't miss you if you're always there, if you're always available, right? People like a little bit of disappointment. It adds flavor to something. That's what we as humans enjoy. If everything were to be too easy, we would not have a challenge. And as humans, we love a challenge. Girls especially love a challenge. When they have to seemingly fight for a guy's attention, that's the guy that they pursue even more voraciously than the one that's always there. And this is how you avoid the friend zone in this case. Another rule to avoid the friend zone is be strategically scarce. To get more of me, you can check me out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. On Facebook, I'm RandoRon. On YouTube, I'm OneRandoRon. On Twitter, I'm at OneRandoRon. On Instagram, I'm at OneRandoRon. That's RandoRon. Pretty simple. Enjoy.